In this week's video, I want to tell you about urgency. You've got to have urgency when you're an entrepreneur because we deal with time differently than an employee. An employee will go to work and watch the clock and get paid by the hour. Not us, entrepreneurs, speakers, authors, consultants, owners of our own businesses. We get paid for our creativity. We get paid for our actual results. We don't get paid just to sit here. We get paid to actually perform and to do a good job in terms of getting voted in by the clients or whoever it is you're selling to, that they vote by actually paying you. And I know you have huge goals for this year, and I want to go through today this amazing training I have for you and a guidebook that's going to help you focus on your Q1 review and planning for your Q2. Perhaps you're watching this later, you can still do it in whatever month. This could be a monthly planner for you. What I have discovered is that accountability just means counting. If you wait until the end of the year to do your accounting, to do your numbers, to do your review, no wonder you're not getting your goals year after year. No wonder you're repeating the same year after year after year, and you're staying stuck, staying stagnant, and staying in your circle of sameness. If you want to bust out of your circle of sameness, say, I do in the comments. And let's go. So I want to ask you some questions. Go ahead and get a pen, get a paper, get a journal, and you can download this here in the comments. But I want to ask you to do an inventory. So I'm going to ask you some of the key questions from here. And then you are going to have your results. And then I recommend printing this out and doing this every single quarter, because what you measure, you are going to get more of a result of. Okay, so what has been your biggest triumph of Q1? What has been your biggest win of Q1? Write it down in your notepad. Okay, and there could be 5, 10, 15. It could be in personal life. It could be in business. It could be in relationships. It could be with your health. It could be with fun, travel, kids, what have you. Now, the next question is, what were your goals and intentions for Q1 and also for this entire year? What did you want? What did you want? Write it down. Next question. What has frustrated you the most in Q1? What has really bothered you that is just you're not happy about, you're frustrated about? Because I think that this is one of the best questions in this guidebook, because what bothers you is an indicator of what needs to change. So whatever you're frustrated about, do you want to continue with that frustration? What did Einstein say? He said the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So do you want to keep staying frustrated and stay here and stay stuck for the next 9 months? Or do you want to shift? So first, clarity. You have to understand what has actually been frustrating you. So write it down. Write it down. Maybe it could be with team, it could be with family, it could be with your health, it could be with, maybe you're hitting snooze every morning, maybe you're not doing what you said you were going to do. What are you frustrated about? Get real to get rich. Get real to get rich. Okay, now hindsight is 20/20. We know that. What would you like to tell yourself if you could give yourself advice from the beginning of the year to now? What advice would you give yourself? What advice, as a big sister or a mentor, how would you mentor yourself and give yourself advice? Maybe it's in a word of encouragement. Maybe it's a word of do this even more, a word of urgency. What advice would you give yourself? I love this. Okay. What is the biggest success that you've made in your finances this year? What's the biggest success in Q1 that you've made in your finances this year? What is the major effect that you are planning on changing in your finances in Q2? Now, it's okay. Maybe you had a really huge quarter and maybe you didn't. No matter what tweak do you want to make to have another improvement for next quarter? What are you most happy about completing in Q1? What are you going to do differently in Q2? Great question. What's actually going to change for you? What are you going to do differently? We have a whole fresh new slate ahead of us. It's a whole new beginning. Imagine it's just like the beginning of the year. Remember that awesome feeling you feel on January 1st? Well, you're going to have that feeling again. So what are you going to do differently? What have you learned in Q1? What have you learned? Write it down. If you're like me, you've learned a lot. And I learned so much from these lessons. Lessons are blessings. What have you learned? What are you looking forward to learning in Q2? What are your biggest risks of Q1? What were the big risks that you took in Q1? What about my work was I most committed to changing and improving in Q1? What about my life or my work was I most committed to changing and improving this year? What about my work will I be most committed to changing and improving now? What are you going to work on next? What are you going to tweak now? Next question. What brought me the most joy in Q1? Now, joy leaves clues. Whatever felt good and expansive and yes, this is it. We want more of that. How can you recreate more of what brought you joy? How can you infuse your life with more experiences like that? Because that is a secret sauce. Because when you are in joy, you are magnetic to money, to opportunity, to people, to situations, to adventures. So what brought you the most joy? Write it down. And now, if you had a word for this year, what was your word? I know in the past, sometimes I'll make a word at the beginning of the year, but I will forget it. Sadly, it won't be a guiding force. I might remember it once in a while. Instead, I read this in Ed Milet's book that you pick your word and then that is your North Star for the year. And you say it over and over and over. So my word for 2024 is power, 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 power. Power, 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 power. So I'm saying it over and over and over. I've had different words over the years. What is your word for the year? And if you were to summarize Q1, and it would be fun for you to put this in the comments, if you were to summarize Q1, what word or word theme would describe as a summary Q1 for you? Put it in the chat. Really think about that. Like what just sums it up? Sums up Q1. Now, I know a lot of people, they say, 2020, I'm just a real positive thinker. I've never been this person, but at the end of the year, a lot of people will put on Facebook or social media and they'll say, 2024 was such a bad year. Like an entire year was bad. No. So if you're that kind of person, I just want to fluff up the covers and fresh new spring energy your way and understand you don't want to do all or none thinking. You actually want to start thinking about what was my theme? Because you, my friend, you put your hand on your chest and say, me, I have the power to change. If I don't like this, I can change. Nobody else is responsible for my results but me. Nobody's responsible but this lady right here. Nobody's responsible but you right there, okay? All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Any unfinished business in Q1? Let's wrap it up. All right. Who are the 3 people that had the greatest impact on my life in Q1? Who really just came in there and they were an answered prayer for you? I'll give a shout out to one of my buddies, Brian Adamson. He was such a good friend for me this year. I am so grateful for him. And he is awesome. He's a real estate professional and a real estate coach, and he's just the best. Okay, I love him. Okay, this is a fun one. What was my biggest surprise in Q1? I got 2 surprises for Q1. Okay, for me, I'll just share that my Q1 surprise was I'm a best-selling author, y'all. I wrote a book, I co-authored a book, And this was a gift that was given to me, and I got to be a part of this collaboration with amazing women, with everyday women. And I am now a best-selling author. This will be the 4th book. So I'm a best-selling author. That was a surprise. That was a surprise for me, for sure. What was your biggest surprise in 2024 so far? All right, what else do you need to say or complete to be complete with this quarter? Summarize it. All right, we just reviewed 2024 Q1. Now we are going to plan Q2. Now this could be your first draft, and I really recommend doing this. I plan out every single month. I make a big plan for every single month, and I want you to do this as well. So, what is the big dream that you really want in Q2? What if you could dream and have whatever you want, and we're already expecting it, it's already here. What is it that you really want in Q2? Answer that. Why is your dream important to you? You have to have a why. Why do you want it? You got to pull on those heartstrings. What is your why? What is your why? Next question. What will be the price that you pay if you don't achieve your dream? I recently heard this quote by Cody Sanchez, and she said, don't set goals, set sacrifices, because you will have to let go of something. The law of sacrifice just means you're letting go of something of a lower nature to get something of a higher nature. So what are you gonna have to let go of? I'm personally letting go of a beautiful morning skiing right now. I'm a big skier. I wanna get up on the mountain, and I am sacrificing this hour to create content for you because I love you and I want you to have this. That's a sacrifice. Okay, so what about you? What do you need to let go of? What will be the price you pay if you don't achieve your dream? Who else will suffer if you don't rise up and become the person who receives the dream? Okay, real talk. Who's that person in your life that they're waiting on you, they're counting on you, they believe you, and they're like, girl, just come on now. You can do this, let's do this thing. Could be future generations, it could be a legacy. Who is it? Let's go. What are the other dreams that you desire to have, hold, allow, be, and receive when you're on your way to receiving your big dream? So you have a big dream. Let's say it's to make $10 million this year. What are some other milestones that you want along the way? Okay, write those down. There should be maybe 10. And you're gonna get this notebook and you can write it out. So know what those are. What kind of person do you need to be in order to reach these dreams and goals? I mean, it's all about identity. You have to be this person. You have to be it before you receive it. Write this down, you get what you are, not what you want. I get what I am, not what I want. So who do you need to become? Who's this person that you need to embody who can attract and allow and receive and hold what it is you want? All right, what are the next, okay, so let's say for right now, I want you to write down what are your next targets that you want to achieve that will be a celebration, they will be a milestone achievement. Because if you're on this long journey for the next 3 months and you're just waiting to race till June 30th to get it, that's not gonna work, okay? When you were a baby and you were learning to crawl, your parents gave you a full-blown applause. Or when you were learning to walk and run, every little thing, like you ate your avocado for the first time with a spoon, or you had your first solid food, or you went to the potty by yourself, like there was an applause factory everywhere you went. So if we're waiting 90 days until we're applauding ourselves, that ain't gonna work. So you need to have your own applause machine, and you need to celebrate yourself every single win, every next win. So my next win is hitting 500 on TikTok. I just started that. Go follow me over there. My next win here that I will celebrate will be hitting 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. My next win will be my next high-end client that I receive, and I will stop and pause and celebrate. I'm not saying I'm gonna go like spend all my money and go on an exotic vacation or anything. I'm just saying I'm gonna sit there, I'm gonna celebrate it. I'm going to give myself a little applause. I might treat myself to something, I don't know yet. Might be a massage, a spa. Okay, so what are the next targets? What are they? Write it down. It could be a weight goal. It could be whatever. What would be that next milestone? In order to hit my next milestone, I am committed to these daily actions and activities. Okay, what are you going to do? Because this isn't going to happen by just filling out this form right now. Okay, you have to have a strategic plan. So what will you do every single day in order to get your milestone? So example, for me with YouTube, I am doing videos, so you're gonna like it, you're gonna subscribe, you're gonna comment. That's gonna help me get to that 2,000. And I'm going to produce YouTube videos once to twice a week and YouTube shorts. And with TikTok, if that's my next goal, I'm producing content there as well. So what about you? And then track it at the end of the week. I track how many videos I did or didn't do. In fact, I had on here, I've been meaning to film 4 videos for quite a while, but I have to tell you, I was going skiing. And the other key thing is I have to have my hair look good for my videos. And when I wear my ski helmet and I also do my sauna, my hair doesn't look as great as it does right now. Okay, so I had to make a sacrifice. But I have to do these, and if I track it every single week, and every week I'm saying to myself, well, I didn't do those YouTube videos, then I can see that I'm not making my progress. Does that make sense? So what you want to do is you want to track your daily activities. If you're doing it daily and at the end of the week, you need to affirm if you did it or didn't, and then recommit to doing it the next week. Can I get an amen in the comments? Thank you. I love amens. All right, just a few more. What obstacles stand in the way of you creating it exactly the way you just described? Be honest. So what are your obstacles? If you don't know your obstacles, you don't know your enemy, how are you going to win this battle? What is really, truly in your way? You know. In Q2, I'm going to stop doing, believing, feeling, and surrounding myself with blank. What is it? What are you going to stop? Because you're defined more by what you say no to than what you say yes to. What are you going to stop doing, believing, feeling, and surrounding yourself with? All right, now last 2 questions here. Well, 3. Okay, what are your top 3 focus goals? A confused mind does not buy. So if you have more than 10 goals, then you have no goals at all. You need to have 3 goals, 3 targets to hit. What are your 3 focus goals for Q2? Write them down, get very specific. I recommend SMART goals. What are they? Is this helping you guys? I really hope this is helping. This is my heart to help you, because I want to see you win. New habits that I'm going to instill in Q2. What habit? Habit just with a habit, you have to plan it. You have to set the right environment for it. You have to put it in your calendar. You have to track it if you're actually creating it and you're doing it. Okay, habits. Finally, are we ready? Say I'm ready if you're ready for the last question. What do you want to say is true for you when the clock strikes midnight on June 30th, 2024? It's almost the 4th of July. Reviewing everything we have created today, write up a heart script about what your life looks and feels like 3 months from today. Write, speak, feel, and think your life into existence. Write down just a huge heart script of what you want to say is true in your life in 3 months. All right. I'm looking forward to hearing how this went for you. I hope you enjoy this. Comment below. We'll get you this guidebook and release Q1 and powerfully prepare for Q2. Let's all win this. Let's make it happen. Be sure to watch the next video, subscribe and like, and I'll see you in the next video.